There has never been a greater desire for vehicles with modern technologies. Manufacturers are under increased pressure to come up with fresh and original methods to incorporate new technology into their cars. Due to the difficulty and inconsistency of merging new and outdated technology, it has grown to be a significant pain point. Other manufacturers must endure protracted, painful teething phases in a market that won't tolerate anything less than the greatest standards of reliability if they want just to introduce new models. So, which manufacturers experience the most reliability issues? Which vehicles are the least reliable? 10. Mercedes-Benz CLA. The new entry-level A-Class sedan and the CLA have a lot in common. Although the CLA is more costly, the two vehicles have a similar mechanical structure and a virtually equal frontal appearance. Moreover, both automobiles have an upmarket facade that testers discovered to be hollow. The Mercedes-Benz CLA sedan, the smallest vehicle on the lot, is evidence that sometimes one may spend too little for anything. Except for features and accessories, where it performs merely averagely, the 2014 model of this subcompact luxury car has the lowest ratings in most categories of dependability survey. Consumer Reports ranks the CLA dead last among entry-level luxury cars overall. It's also listed among the 10 worst cars of 2022 with a below-average expected dependability rating. 9. Land Rover Discovery. Since the Land Rover Discovery was discovered, there have been several problems with it. Consumers are alerted to the numerous issues and recalls that they have had with their Land Rovers in forums all over the internet. The Discovery was a complete failure with a long list of problems. Some of the concerns were poor steering and handling, a bumpy ride, and many air riding system issues. Even though 2021 was a year of rebuilding, Consumer Reports still forecasted that the dependability will be 1 out of 5 in 2022. 8. Volkswagen Jetta. The reliable Volkswagen Jetta is a tiny vehicle produced by the famous German automaker. Since 1984, the Jetta has been offered in America, and in 2019 the manufacturer unveiled the 7th version of the vehicle. But several issues with the Volkswagen Jetta made us doubt the entire lineup. Volkswagen had a horrible reputation for being unreliable before it became known for its filthy diesel crisis. In 2017, most transmission-related problems required consumers to replace clutches, torque converters, and in worst cases, their whole transmissions or rebuilds. 7. GMC Acadia. General Motors is a fairly large firm with a broad enough brand portfolio to fall under its protection. Given that the Acadia is still on the market 15 years later, that is a legitimate argument. In comparison to other cars in its class, the GMC Acadia is a mid-size SUV that is reasonably affordable. Since its release in 2007, the GMC Acadia hasn't performed well in terms of overall reliability. Acadia has already been subject to 2 recalls this year, each of which raises the possibility of an accident. The first is a problem with the gasoline pump that might catch fire, and the second involves the drive shaft. If it breaks down while driving, it might crash, or if it does so while parked, it will just roll away. 6. Dodge Ram. Most new truck customers have learned to accept depreciation as a trade-off between purchasing new and second-hand. But when it comes to maintaining value after leaving the dealership lot, certain cars are poorer than others. Due to improper management of recalls, Ram was hit with a $105 million fine back in 2015. The lawsuit followed 3 separate recalls that each dealt with steering problems on more than 500,000 cars, mostly impacting Rams of all rated tow levels. There were 32 confirmed accidents and 1 fatality due to these recalls, and some consumers had to wait as long as 2 years to fix their defective vehicles. In any case, it violates the legislation that requires companies to respond to recalls promptly, which is why Ram was forced to pay over $100 million in fines and purchase back vehicles that weren't fixed. 5. Ford Fiesta. One of Ford's best-selling vehicles globally, the compact, spirited, and affordable Ford Fiesta is without a doubt enjoyable to drive. A pre-owned Fiesta can appear like a wise choice for a buyer on a tight budget. However, owners of the vehicle complain about a faulty power shift dual gearbox. Moreover, the Fiesta's overall dependability rating has declined each year, similar to most of the vehicles on this list. The main causes of the problems being the transmission, heating and cooling systems, as well as weather-stripping flaws that cause a variety of strange sounds and leaks. 4. Cadillac Escalade. Cadillac entered the SUV market in 1999 with the Escalade's release, and problems have appeared. Even in 2017, the Escalade was listed as one of the least reliable cars by Consumer Reports. This is because of serious gearbox problems and troubles with the infotainment system. Despite the Escalade's enormous exterior, Consumer Reports adds that the interior seemed quite cramped and there are concerns about the comfort. Not what you might anticipate from a high-end SUV that costs over $80,000. 3. Subaru Ascent. Subaru provides a wide selection of dependable automobiles. They frequently boast that 90% of their automobiles are still operating after 10 years, but the Ascent didn't seem to get the message. Consumer Reports awarded the Ascent a dismal 1 out of 5 for dependability. The SUV performs so well in practically every other area that the reliability is a shock. Moreover, the Ascent receives the lowest rating in its class from Consumer Reports, outperforming the Explorer, known worldwide for its Exploder appellation. We hope things go better for the largest SUV available because the low scores hurt Subaru's reputation for dependability. 2. Nissan X-Trail. Owners of the Nissan X-Trail are not pleased with the company's handling of the mid-sized SUV. Nissan's X-Trail scores so poorly across the board that cars from companies like Kia and Hyundai outperform the SUV. What car ranked the X-Trail 28th out of 30 in terms of reliability? Nearly half of all X-Trail owners reported having issues with their SUVs in a 2021 study conducted by the same website. These faults might be anything from electrical difficulties to broken knobs and subpar interior standards. We can only hope that individuals who spent more than $30,000 on one saved enough for the recurring maintenance. 1. Tesla Model S. The Tesla Model S is one of the first electric automobiles that springs to mind when EVs are mentioned. Tesla dominates the EV industry. They are opulent, quick, and gas-free. However, the six-figure Model S has been beset by dependability problems in recent years. They can't be ignored, from the air suspension failing to the primary touchscreen becoming blank while on display. The Model S isn't very dependable. According to Consumer Reports, there are issues with the inside material's quality and functioning is greatly reduced in cold weather. Furthermore, according to Cars.com, there have been 17 documented recalls for the Model S. Although they receive their fair share of praise, there is also some worry that the Model S may malfunction as soon as it pulls into the driveway. The Model S may cost up to $135,000, which is extremely unsettling. Well, they don't seem that bad. But let's be honest, when it comes to cars, an essential tool to our daily transportation, they should be made with the utmost quality. I mean, why not? This is something that humans drive. Manufacturers should focus on providing the best to their clients. Anyway, which vehicle did we miss out? That's all from this video. See you in the next one.